Good morning, Symmetry. Good morning, Symmetry Nation. I'm just going to give everyone just a little bit of time just to kind of jump on the call here, so we don't interrupt the introduction here. So I welcome all of you guys to the Monday morning sales training call. So we'll just give everyone just a couple of minutes to kind of jump on here, and then we're going to get started. And so everyone, if I want, take out your notebooks and your pens and take lots of notes as you're going through here. So my name is Michelle Brock. I am agency owner here with Symmetry Financial Group, and I am very honored and grateful to be here. I'm so excited to be able to talk on this call with you guys today and give you lots of nuggets to take with you onto your day today. I am direct to Christine Slavik and blessed to be so. I'm also with Carl Miller, Ryan Miller, Rob Puckett, Marshall Whalen, and I am definitely grateful to be a part of this amazing team. So the topic for today is getting to the heart of the matter. Now, this is something that I hold very dear to me, because it's my why. It's what's my driving force, what brings me forward here into Symmetry. For whoever doesn't know, I've been with Symmetry for about 4 years. I have 4 children. I have been a stay-home mom for 27 years. So when I had jumped into Symmetry, it was absolutely with no experience. It was something that I was definitely scared. I was definitely uncomfortable. And trust me, I was uncomfortable all the time, but just kind of humbled myself down. But for me, for my why is my children. To be that example, to be that driving force for them so they can be successful too. I know that with my 4 children, I was able to here in Symmetry because I'm driven, and there isn't one thing in that, not one person that could say to me that would knock me down. Because once I had my mindset and what I wanted to achieve, and my goals were right in front of me, and what I want my children to succeed and be successful here too, was something that I drive for. I'm so driven for helping that my children can lead from example. I was able to send 2 of my daughters in school. My first daughter just graduated, and she's actually got accepted into a medical school. I was able to help her do that. 2, I have another daughter that is in her 2nd year in college, and I was able to get her into college and guide her, and so she could be successful. And so that's my driving path, is I want to be able to help my family achieve their goals and to not financially have to worry about anything. And I know they're going to have to go through their downfalls and everything, but the love that I have for my family and the love that I have for my agents and my clients, I mean, you can see it, you can feel it. So there isn't anything that's going to stop me. And my children can set out their minds to do anything that they want to do. That's it. They can do anything that they set their minds to do it. They just have to have that focus, and they have to have that path. And they learn that from me. So, I mean, that's something that has stayed with me, and why I am successful here in Symmetry is my vision for my family and my passion. And you guys have to have the passion as you come here into Symmetry. And it wasn't something that I always had up front, was my passion. So I just wanted to kind of go in a little bit about why I'm here in Symmetry and what is my driving force here, and what deep down in my heart. Now, I wanted to go into the heart of the matter. That was the heart of the matter for me. Everyone has their own path that they go into. The second is we go into why is it important to have a why when you're going in. And this is all kind of for everyone that is new on the call here. Why do we have a why? Well, 1, this is an emotional sell. You have to become a little bit vulnerable when you're going through your why. I know that they have to like you, they have to trust you. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm just going to do a little bit of a role play, just to kind of be a little bit vulnerable with you guys. I know that was hard for me at first. It was something deep to my heart that I couldn't do, but once I had opened up and I had projected that onto the families that I was sitting with, I become a little bit vulnerable. And with me being vulnerable with them, they would open up to me. And when they would open up to me, then that is where I have the opportunity to kind of dig into. Because I'm going to let you guys know that most of the families that I sit with have never ever discussed in their life what would happen if their loved one were to pass away. So why is it important that we have a why when we go into the home? One, they have to like you. They have to trust you. And you do have to become a little bit vulnerable when you do your why. And you know what? With your why, my why is mine. Everyone else has their own why. It can be a happy why. It can be a sad why. But it's the emotion. This is an emotional business, an emotional sell when you're helping your clients and you're sitting with them. So when we go into a why, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable, and sometimes I may cry, and you know what, guys, it's okay. And even the men out there, it's okay if you cry. It just shows that you're human and you're sitting with them and you care. You really care about that family. And I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I care about every single family that I do sit down with, and I want to be able to protect them. And with my why, when I go into that family, I'm 100% focused when I am talking to them. And when I do my why, sometimes I cry, sometimes I don't, but they get to see that I'm human and that I care. I don't care what anyone says. The emotional part of this isn't we're not looking at the price. I'm not thinking about my sale or my budget or any of that. This is 100% just focus on them. So when I open up to them, they will open up to me. And just to let you guys know, don't let them rush you into it, because this is your personal why. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you just a little bit of an example of my why when I go in. And this is something that holds dear to my heart. It's happened to me and to my family. And so I know the devastation, what happens when there is no protection, whether it's final expense, whether it's mortgage protection, when there is nothing in place with that family, what happens? So when I sit down, my passion, and I love what I do. I love the families that I help. So when I talk to someone, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to say, so let me tell you why I'm in this business. Back in 2013, about 4 weeks before my son was born, I got a call from my dad. My dad called up and said, I need all of you girls here at the hospital. So of course, I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to run. My mom is my rock, and with most families, the mom is the one that kind of holds everything together. So of course I'm going to run. I just talked to my mom a week ago. And so we all get to the hospital. We're all standing around my mom's bed. The doctor comes in and tells us that my mom has liver cancer. And that liver cancer had spread from her liver to her pancreas, to her lung, to her brain. And to have that devastation just come across that your mom is sick is hard. And that was something that, we never thought. We never thought anything was wrong with my mom. We were just talking to her a week ago. So when the doctor had come in and said that, of course, my dad had completely shut down. He had completely shut down, not thinking that anything, and he was also in denial too, that anything was wrong with my mom. And my mom's cancer had metastasized and just basically was taking over everything, that there wasn't any treatment that we could get her into except to make her comfortable. So what we did was we brought her home. We brought hospice in. We made her as comfortable as possible. And my mom had passed away in 4 weeks. So she was taken away from us, from finding out to her passing in 4 weeks, which is devastating for anyone in my family and my sisters and my children, my mom's, everyone, and my dad. And he basically shut down. So what ended up happening was my dad closed up. So all of us sisters had to jump in, and I've got 4 other sisters. So we all jumped in and we helped with the finances because my dad didn't have any type of protection in place, no final expense, no mortgage insurance. And he kept saying, and he was military, and my dad was a very stubborn man and didn't want to, fine, they were invincible, they were going to live forever. So what happened was he didn't have anything in place, so we went ahead and we covered the cost. And don't get me wrong, it was hard for us too, having to cover the cost of your mom's funeral. And not only that we had lost our mom, we kind of lost a little bit of my dad too. And we also had lost the home that we loved and that we grew up in and that we loved. It was just all taken away. My dad could not afford to continue paying the mortgage payments on the home. And in his mind he just walked away. And for all of us girls to have to maintain and pay that, we couldn't do it. We were struggling too. So to have that burden on your family, so my dad, we took that away from him. We helped him, but it was hard. So tell me, what kind of protection are you looking for, and how would that protect your family? And then this is where you're going to dig in a little bit, because when you become vulnerable and you're talking to them, and sometimes I do tear up because it hits my heart, they're going to open up to you. So this is an emotional cell. And when they open up to you, it's like a floodgate of things that are going to be coming out. Because I'm going to tell you guys, about 95% of the families that I sit with have never, ever, ever discussed in their life what would happen if their husband or their wife were to pass away. So this is huge when you go into the why. And this is what makes everything real in this appointment is the why. And it's not so much my why, it's their why. It's digging into their why, because this is for them. This has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's all about them, what it's protecting, how it's protecting. And that's when you go into quality questions when you're asking them. And you guys can get onto the Quility site. I know Casey had pulled up, and I have a list of questions that you can ask when you're in the home. I mean, the platform that we have set up is phenomenal. You're going to ask open-ended questions when I'm talking with that client. Who, what, when, where, how, and why? Because no one's ever asked these questions. Did I ever ask my dad any of these questions? He always said, oh, I've got everything taken care of. That is what you're going to hear. You're going to hear people say, I've got it all taken care of. Do they really got it taken care of? There might be some people out there. There is a percent that does have it taken care of, but then you have the majority of them that do not and have never discussed it. So, your open-ended questions. How long would you want to stay in the house by yourself? That's one question. And there's lots of questions that you can ask. You want to dig in 7 layers deep, 8, 9, 10. You just want to dig in, because this is an emotional cell, and it doesn't have to do with any of the numbers. It's what it is protecting, where it can protect the full mortgage, where it can protect half the mortgage, or it can protect a certain percent of the mortgage or payments on the home. So what we do really does matter, and we can impact as many families as we can here in Symmetry. And so when my passion comes out, when I'm helping each one of my families, I am solely, individually focused and present with my family that I'm sitting with. And I will help them. And if they have questions, if they have follow-ups, or if even if they have, and trust me, you guys, you can get a lot of referrals as you go along in each one of these appointments, but really it's to focus on that family. I'm 100% focused on them, and I'm going to dig in. And I am very thorough when we get into the appointments too. And that's with the open-ended questions. And you can get all those questions right onto the Quility U on phase 4 with Casey. If you guys, if I've impacted you just a little bit today and you guys have taken a lot of notes, then I want you to use that and jump into your appointments and impact as many families as you can here. And it was a pleasure getting on this call. Not gonna lie, just a little bit anxious and nervous, but I'm excited that I was able to talk on this call. So I want to wish you guys all the best today, and just keep in mind that little bit of information with just be present with your families. Be a little bit vulnerable when you're talking to them, and care. Just care about your families. So I want you guys to go out there and have a wonderful day and impact as many families as you can. Thank you guys. Bye.